My friends, I know how difficult it has been for so many of you over these last several weeks to be physically separated from your parishes and the sacraments. It has been difficult for the clergy and religious of our Archdiocese, who wish very much to be together for Mass and to be present to you, especially now in this difficult time. Although many of our priests and parish leaders have done a wonderful job using technology and other means to provide the Mass and sacraments to you and to remain connected to you, I know how deeply our people yearn to return to church. Let me assure you, you're not alone. We feel the same way. Now, as we are able to see some daylight at the end of the tunnel, as each day we hang on to whatever positive news there is about the slow of the COVID-19 virus, we have begun the work of developing a plan for the careful and gradual reopening of our churches. Over the last several weeks, I have consulted with clergy and members of the laity to seek their wisdom and counsel. In addition, I have received regular updates from civic leaders and public health officials, all to ensure that the plan we are developing allows us to reopen wisely and safely. In the Archdiocese of Baltimore, our first step will be to reopen churches for private prayer, as well as for confessions, weddings, funerals, and baptisms, all within the limits on the number of people present and with social distancing practices in place. Public masses will most likely resume in a second stage of reopening, again with appropriate social distancing and limits on the number of people who can be in attendance. Once masses begin, the obligation to attend will initially remain suspended, understanding that people may not immediately feel comfortable gathering in larger groups. And masses will look different from our liturgies prior to the pandemic because of social distancing and the use of personal protective equipment. Our priests and deacons might not be able to greet you before or after Mass, and there may be some changes in how we line up to receive the Blessed Sacrament, the Eucharist. There will also be mandatory spacing of families and individuals in pews and a requirement for the masking of faces. While not convenient, these measures are but temporary and will allow us to be together and for you to be nourished by the body of Christ, something I know you hunger for. Once our plan is finalized, it will be posted on the Archdiocesan website, www.archbolt.org. While I believe that the first phase of our plan will be able to be safely implemented relatively soon, I do not have an exact timeline for when this will take place. And so I ask your continued patience as we navigate what promises to be a complex and challenging process for us all. Until then, may God bless you and keep you always in His love.